if you got naked for like 10 dudes, but you didn't bang, it's like at that point you're kind of just a tease. You know what I mean? So today we're talking about body count. And I really wanted to have a more nuanced conversation about body count because I felt like this is what was missing in today's society. Because sorry, I have to turn the sound off so I can see the live chat. Um so today I really I, sometimes during these shows people say I contradict myself, or people say that, they leave comments. And I feel as though sometimes I need to give you guys a more detailed explanation of my opinions. So today I saw a comment, or yesterday on yesterday's show, I saw a comment that said, and I did, I think it's Chuck Solutions 4579. I do feel a little bit bad at the comment I had to leave. But yesterday, I talked about how virgin women over 25 are generally either very weird, they're usually lying, or they have a huge ego. They're building their brand off of their virginity. It's like the only thing they bring to the table. So, and they're usually very immature. Like they don't, a lot of them just don't get into the game, and they think they're better because they're afraid to, get into the game. But mostly they're liars. Mostly they're not honest. So there was a guy who said, 17 years ago, I married a 25-year-old virgin. I was a 28-year-old virgin. I chose her because of her character, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even read the rest, right? But he goes on to say she kind of gave up after we've been married. She weighed 155. She gained a bunch of weight. Then she dropped weight, gained it back, whatever. So, when I see comments like this, the only thing that I can think is how I just think some men really want to be lied to. They don't want to be honest. And on this show, I really do pride myself on being as honest as I possibly can. I mean, there's some things I just simply cannot tell you about on the internet because my enemies will use them to attack me forever. It's simply I can't. Um so if so I do what but I got to be honest about what I've seen. I always want to protect people's privacy as well. However, a 25-year-old female virgin, does that seem realistic to you? Does that seem like that is a real thing? So I commented back and I said, I'm sure she was a virgin. Oh, I can't even zoom in on this on here. See if I can make it bigger. On this computer, it doesn't let me zoom in. I hate having to be the asshole, but this is my show and I just got to say it. I'm sure I'm getting so annoyed. I should have just linked it. I knew I should have linked it. I knew I should have just had the comment up, but I tried to screen. I knew. Ah, no, hold on. Hold on. I can't. Let me go to the last. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So my first comment, I'll even share the screen on the last show. All right, I'm sure she was a virgin at 25 with a decade of a sex drive. Now, I don't mean to be an asshole. I really don't. I don't. But we just have to think that in a way, I'm trying to humanize women, right? Do you think if men, it was easy for them to get sex and they could even basically DoorDash sex and have a woman that was attracted to them, interested, and wanted to have sex with them, how many men do you think would be virgins by 22? None. None. I mean, all the guys that virtue signal about it, usually they make money off of their virginity in some way. They got a Christian brand. But if they didn't, I have a hard time believing they would. They wouldn't fold. You know what I mean? So He says, "Pearl, I got the impression that you were raised in a protected environment, similar to my wife. Da, 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 da. She was an ICU nurse. Dear God, she's a nurse." So here's my point. As young as I was, I remember the first person sexually active in my class was so young that it actually makes me uncomfortable to say it. It actually, and I went to a small Catholic school. This was not the majority of the women at that age, as far as I knew. You only know what people tell you. But this was a tiny Catholic school, and this girl started, I'll just say it was 7th, 8th grade. You can do the math on the age. It makes me kind of uncomfortable to say it. We start wanting to have sex with guys, and I would say women are more sexual earlier than men. Men are kind of like they're doing their own thing, they're into their hobbies. Women's only hobby is men. So from a young age, that's all women care about. And women are just thrown dick at them 24/7 from a very young age. Now, I am not saying a woman I what I'm not saying is that there aren't 25-year-old virgins. They do exist. But it's just not usually the woman is gonna have such great offers at the time from 18 to 25 that unless there's something seriously wrong with her, where it's an ego, it's like a character issue, she's gonna take one of the offers, right? Maybe she's fat, and the offers just aren't good enough for her. But you have to understand when women want to have sex, women are are doing it somehow. Maybe it's with the mouth, maybe it's getting finger blasted, maybe it's like, the woman opts out of the dating market for a year and then goes back in. But I I'm telling you guys, y- y- you have to see this through my point of view. Women have every incentive. They have every incentive to lie to you. Why on earth would a woman be honest? Why would women be honest about this? Seriously. Like what would be the incentive for a woman to be like, "Yes, let me just." Because if the women really it was about getting married, they would get married. It would be the first on the agenda. They would say, "I'm waiting till marriage," and you'd go on 100 Hinge dates till you found a guy to wait. As most of you know, I have been fighting on the front lines of the simp epidemic for years, but I need to tell you about a quiet weapon being ratcheted up against men that is rarely talked about. It's not just the relentless anti-masculinity propaganda and OnlyFans hoes causing the societal issues that we discuss on this show. Did you know that the average city's tap water contains trace pharmaceuticals and endocrine disruptors? This often includes estrogen from birth control. The average adult consumes a credit card worth of plastic every single week. That's 5 grams of plastic a week on average. So it's no wonder that the average male's testosterone is half of what the average was 50 years ago. Testosterone levels decline 1% a year, and without a course correction, we are headed towards extinction. No matter how based you are, you need to be naturally boosting your testosterone. My friends at Chalk, CHOQ.com, are on a mission to save mankind from extinction by boosting your vitality. Chalk's Male Vitality Stack contains premium and potent herbs clinically studied to naturally boost your testosterone levels, sperm count, and overall vitality. Just one of the many ingredients in the Male Vitality Stack was studied in double-blind human clinical trials to boost total testosterone 20% in 90 days. When you boost your testosterone, you'll have more mental clarity, you're more capable of making decisions and taking risks. Having high testosterone will also affect your pheromones, so women will find you more attractive subconsciously. Get the Chalk Male Vitality Stack right now on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. Use my name Pearl as your coupon code and you'll get 25% off site-wide on chalk.com. That's CHOQ.com. My name Pearl is the discount code. All I'm saying is I have a hard time believing that let's say for shits and giggles, the average age to lose the virginity is like 16. Let's say she started wanting to have sex at 16. And women get very horny during that time of the month when we're ovulating. It's like we could bang anything. Like, you ever see a woman and she hooked up with someone and you're like, "How the hell did that happen?" She was ovulating. When you catch a woman during that time, it's like anybody will do. Anybody. I swear to God. And when you're young, it's even worse. It's like it's terrible. And again, they used to deal with this by giving the husband, and like they would be like, "Here, take out all the sexual energy," and then the men would get to do, they'd get to. I'm sure the women cheated then too, but there was a lot higher risk. So, but you're telling me your wife 9 years, 9 years of a normal functioning sex drive, she didn't get finger blasted once? And the STD, I said what I consider a virgin is a woman that has never done anything. And I got this from somebody, but a virgin, I don't think you could be a virgin if you got finger blasted like 10 times. I just don't think it has the same appeal, right? You know what I mean? I don't think you could really be a virgin if you did anal. It's just not the same. And I think women do feel like they're still virgins. I really do, because I don't think women bond the same way until we have sex. Like, I don't think women, aren't as connected until the sex happens. So I do understand the point of view. But it's tough, it's not likely, but you can get chlamydia from getting finger blasted and HPV. Okay, that is a thing. Um, so I am not gonna count it as the same thing if if you're a hornball and you're going to Chad and he's finger blast like and doing the soaking. I mean, there's all these stupid workarounds. I mean, come on, like he's watching you orgasm. What is wrong? Like, why would you defend this? Like, why do you want to be cucked so bad? And I'm not saying this. What I'm not trying to do is say this in a way that attempts to I am not attempting to shame women actually when I say this. Cuz women are in a tough predicament. I know you probably have no sympathy, right? But I think on this show I'm going to be a little bit more sympathetic to the women. I mean, young women don't really know who's going to commit and who's not going to commit. Young women aren't really raised to be wives. And so young women have to make the choice when they sleep with somebody if he's going to ruin their reputation by telling everybody, and men do, they always tell their friends. I mean, always. If you send nudes to a guy, congratulations, his friend group has seen you naked. Congratulations. Young women have to deal with the burden of performance, which is after sex he might ghost, or and the young men, it's not like they're dying to be like married and right, especially nowadays. um and we're gonna be sympathetic for 2 seconds to the women, okay? We're gonna be I understand you guys have it way worse, it's totally true, but I do attempt to get into the women's shoes at times. Um, and it was just like it was just all of there's so many comments. Um, so many comments that were just white knighting. Oh, they exist. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. So, okay. Now, I want to talk to you guys about how I come to conclusions on this show, because I really do want I really want to talk about how I come to my worldview. I do think that facts, data, and statistics are important. However, the challenge you get is that facts, data, and statistics are usually funded by women, and women lie. Not all women, not all women. That's the challenge. The women make 80% of buying decisions, so it's very difficult to find industries that just aren't funded by women. Therefore, I question everything that I read. And I in a way I never stop working. I'm always talking to people, I'm always listening to people's stories, I'm always observing. I had someone that worked for me once. Um I That's what he said, because he was around me a lot. He's like, "You really never stop working." And I'm like, "I really don't." And I'll just recount some of my experiences from college, high school, early, whatever. The latest girls I knew that still had their V card intact were 20 or 21. And these were small Christian schools, okay? These were religious institutions. And by V card intact, all of those women that had the V card intact got finger blasted. They did something, okay? Like there's one girl, she would just get naked in front of guys and like stop, that was like her thing. Like she's got a known for that. And I'm like, I don't know if this is the same draw. If you got naked for like 10 dudes, but you didn't bang, it's like at that point you're kind of just a tease, you know what I mean? All right, so let's talk about hoes. Because I think the way you guys maybe will be less naive and get bamboozled less is I really just want you to understand that women are very horny from like a very young age, almost uncomfortable to talk about. Okay. Like hornier than the adult women, hornier than women in menopause. And I don't know if you guys have met women in menopause, but they're ready to bounce everything. But the challenge is young women, they have to signal purity. They have to hide it very, very well because they have to ensure that they get their resources. They got to get married, right? You can't be known as the town bicycle. And so I want to divide this into smart hoes and dumb hoes because really there's intelligent hoes and idiotic hoes. Ashley St. Clair is an example, one of Elon Musk's baby mamas. She was a smart hoe. I mean, she signaled purity till the very end. I mean, the word on Twitter was she got ran through in college. That's what they're saying. Like really bad. I guess she slept with a bunch of frat dudes. Then, she gets into conservative media. I guess she got ran through there. And then she realized that Elon Musk was a high value target. And then she found him, got pregnant. And now she's crashing out on X. Now, obviously, she looks pretty stupid in this. Like, it's not like intelligent. You know what I mean? But she did get the kid, right? She did get so because of that, I'm gonna say smart hoe. I'm gonna put her in the smart hoe category because I do think she got whatever the hell she wanted. She got the clout, she got the kid, she got money. So what I've observed, and I was actually really pissed off about this because when I was younger, I really felt like the women that were whores, I really thought that they would have some sort of consequence. And I would try to like pride myself oh, like if I don't do that, there'll be a reward or like and what I found is that whores don't really have any consequences. They really don't. Now, dumb whores kind of do, but not really. And I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. If I look up married porn stars, I better not. I'm not going to share my screen in case I don't know what's going to come up. But it's like all of the top porn stars are all married. These are women that had sex on camera. And a lot of them get married if they're hot enough. So even if there is a potential consequence, it's really not as bad as you think. We got to kill this revenge fantasy. Like women will have consequences for literally anything. So dumb hoes, I need to divide this. I need to maybe flesh out this thought a little more. There's smart hoes and dumb hoes. And there are smart hoes that do have a sexual footprint, but they still figure out how to win. Like, they'll still have a sex Riley Reid, she got into corn, she put in the work, and then she got married to, and we gotta be honest, guys. Actually, we're gonna react to this. This guy is above average. He is an attractive guy. Many women would want to get married to. You might call him a simp. You might call him a simp, but I mean, you don't know if you're gonna get cheated on in your marriage. You might be the same exact simp, you know what I mean?